Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we are going to be reviewing BusBoys. This is the new comedy film that is in theaters by David Spade and Theo Von, apparently completely financed by David Spade and Theo Von. And ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to sugarcoat this one. This is one of the worst comedy films that I have ever seen in my entire life. It was trash. Shout out to me having Riedel Unlimited, because it really didn't feel like I wasted any money on this, but I definitely wasted an hour and a half of my time, which, by the way, it seemed like they stretched every little thing that they could to get this film to an hour and a half so that they could at least have it in the theaters. You know, in an age where every single comedy movie is just hitting streaming and not going to theaters, I was so excited to see a comedy movie in theaters. I'm like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've seen something with such big names. You know, Theo's gonna have a major acting debut. Maybe this is gonna be great. Maybe it's gonna be everything that we wanted it to be. No, it was absolutely... It was so sloppy. You would have thought that David Spade never made a movie in his entire life the way this went. His character was so confusing. The plot was so just choppy. It seemed like they edited so many things together. And I'll be honest with you guys, the main highlights of the film seemed like they were just straight up improvisation by Theo Von. Now, I think that Theo is funny on like the podcast clips that I've seen of him, and that's what it kind of felt like. It felt like I was just scrolling my reels and they just put him in front of a high-tech camera and we're like, oh, okay, hey man, just say all the things that you normally say and then we'll just figure it out. So those are the things that kind of made me, do the little, that was all I was getting the entire time. By the way, our theater, it probably had like 10, maybe 15 people in it. There was never a moment where we were all laughing. The only time I ever heard anyone laugh out loud was my girlfriend sitting next to me once, and the dude to my left chuckled like 2 or 3 times at parts that I thought were painfully unfunny, which is why I think that the people that think this movie will be good are people that I do not want to associate with, and I think that you should not either. And I know I'm being a little bit harsh, but I really, really had high hopes. I was just hoping that it was at least okay and that it wasn't really bad. So I'll say, obviously the little Theo one-liners, they were good as they always are. It's just, and that's not what a movie's supposed to be. Nate Diaz was also had a cameo in this, and I thought he was really, really funny because he kind of just destroys his own car. I think his brother Nick Diaz is with him too, and he just destroys their own car while being pissed at them and like screaming at them. Theo Von and David Spade. It's just, yeah, so let's go over the plot. Obviously, we're going to have some spoilers in this. I don't know why you would care if this is spoiled, because they probably took about 35 minutes writing this plot. David Spade is classic trope, dating a girl that's way too hot for him. She is, basically just completely uninterested, doesn't like him, and she gets picked up by this waiter while they're at dinner, and she starts cheating on him with this waiter and like doesn't break up with him or something and goes to a resort and is like banging this dude at a resort. It's so cringy the way that like it's all played out too. Like the dude comes up, he's like, I can get you whatever you want, I'm a waiter. And it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, maybe this is going somewhere. So because he loses his girlfriend to a waiter, David Spade decides that he wants to be a waiter, so he recruits his boy, Theo Von, to go with him to Mexico to become waiters, and, hijinks ensues, okay? They go to the restaurant and they meet the manager, Tim Dillon. Now, I thought this scene was going to be really funny because I saw a bunch of clips from it, like, on social media. I saw a ton of, them laughing at, like, Tim Dillon doing, some of his takes and stuff. I did not think that Tim Dillon was a great actor. I thought that literally everybody in this film did terrible. I thought all of their acting was awful. This felt like the entire time that I was watching it, it felt like I was watching some 15-year-old screenplay that they wrote for their TV production class. And if that was the case, I would have been like, wow, this is great. This kid's going somewhere, you know? But obviously, this is written by people that are supposed to know how to write movies and how movies are supposed to go, i.e. David Spade, literally like, you know, the guy who's supposed to be the front runner and taking things in a super funny direction. None of that happened the entire time. So yeah, I just thought that everybody's performances were terrible. It also looked like it was shot in like 3 days. There were so many scenes that felt like they were just forced in to hit that hour 30 mark. Like at one point they're on the drive to Mexico and a bunch of rabbits are on the road, like running in front of them in the worst CGI that I have ever seen in my entire life. It was just so corny. It looked like, you know, there's another comedian. His name is Harlan Williams. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Harlan Williams. He's a little bit smaller than somebody like Theo Von or David Spade, but he's been a comedian for a long time, and he has this really, really stupid movie that I've always wanted to review one day, where I actually sit down and force myself to watch this with my eyes taped open. It's called Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face. And it is literally the worst looking movie, the worst shot movie that I've ever seen. And it's honestly not even one of those movies where it's so bad that it's good. It's just a bad film. And I love it as a meme. I think that it's really stupid. And I think that Harlan's really funny. But that's what this movie was giving me. And the budget for that movie looked like it was like $100,000. So I don't know what this is. It was like all shot in these random dry looking desert areas. And they rented one area of a restaurant. There were like, you know, low stakes that turned into high stakes. At one point, they become drug mules, and then they get immediately caught, and then they get turned into moles, and then they're trying to find the guy at the restaurant that they're working at as busboys, who is selling all of the drugs, and it ends up being a dude that's in a wheelchair, but he can actually walk. And then so they get paraded down in front of this dude, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Send them away. Like, he doesn't even do anything. It literally makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. And, like, there's this joke where they all come in and they're like, oh, you know, the FBI, DOT, CIA, whatever. And they keep making it. And there's these girls that come up and they're like, DTF. And they're like, we're down to fuck. We're just some freaking strippers that you guys hired and we don't know how to act. And we're fucking stupid. Look at us. I'm like, what am I watching? Literally, what did I sit down for an hour and a half to watch? Everybody's, oh my God, comedy is back. Oh my God, they dropped the F slur 3 times in the movie. I don't fucking care. It wasn't funny, okay? So it doesn't matter to me what you do and the barriers that you break and trying to end woke, which, by the way, it started to feel like that at a certain point. It started to feel like I was watching a fucking Daily Wire movie, which is just ridiculous. I don't want to feel like that when I go to the fucking movie theater to watch a comedy movie. I want to laugh. I want funny things, okay? Literally, Theo Von's entire motivation to becoming a waiter, going to be a busboy, to then become a waiter, is that he wants to afford money for his mom's sex change surgery. Why? That's not something that's like, and then the entire time, you know, there was one funny joke where he's like, my dad ran away. So I just want my mom to become my dad because I miss having a dad or some shit like that. I can't even remember how it's worded. Me and my girlfriend are in the car going, can you even remember any of the jokes that made you be like, oh, that was pretty clever? No, we couldn't. And she has a better memory than me. I would have thought that she would at least have pulled out a few. All we could think of is Nate Diaz destroying his own car while screaming at Theo and David Spade. It was so ridiculously bad, so corny. Also, a fucking Jelly Roll song that was definitely just pushed in by Theo, just so Jelly Roll could go and cry on stage again. Oh, I can't believe that I got my music from this little country crack house into a feature-length film. You are fucking dog shit, okay? And your shit was shoehorned in because Theo blows you in the back of an Arby's on a Tuesday night. I want to hear music that fits the fucking story, okay? This is an embarrassment. David Spade should be embarrassed that he put his name on something like this. You know, I told a few people while I was at work, oh yeah, I'm going to go see this movie BusBoys, the new David Spade and Theo Von movie. And I had 3 different people go, oh, well, if David Spade's in it, then it should be really good. And I go, yeah, I think he financed it and like co-wrote it with Theo. And they're like, oh, that sounds like it's going to be hilarious. I'm like, yeah, I really hope that it is. Even if it was low budget, it could have still been funny. Okay, Friday's a great movie. That movie was made for like 2 cents and a fucking pack of cigarettes. Okay, it's just it's an embarrassment. Theo and David should be ashamed of themselves. I really don't ever want to see any of these people on screen again. Bobby Lee was in it for all of about 2 minutes, yet he's on the poster and they're parading him around like he's in the actual movie. There were so many jokes that fell flat. Nobody in the theater was laughing. Everybody hates this. If you like it, you're wrong. And that's really about it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. I hope that you guys appreciated this video. I mean, I am just completely and utterly disappointed, shocked. I feel hurt. I feel as though comedy is dead. I'm going to give it another chance when I go see the new Scary Movie. But even the trailer for that is kind of giving me like, oh my God, we're fighting against woke. It's like, dude, just be fucking funny. I don't care what the jokes are. If they're not woke, if they're woke, I don't care. I don't want to hear 150,000 trans jokes because I've heard all of them, because it's just not funny to try to be like, oh my God, dude, I'm a shock jock. No, shock jock jokes used to be like really like actually dark, not just some stupid shit like, oh, you guys are gonna try to cancel me, aren't you? But I'm gonna say this, nobody's canceling anybody. It's over, it's done, okay? Just make a funny fucking movie. Stop with this culture war bullshit. All right, this has turned into a rant. Scary Movie 6 is I'm telling you, it's one of the last hurrahs. And everybody wants to sit there. It's my last thing that I'm going to say about this topic. Everybody wants to sit there and they want to talk shit about Happy Gilmore 2. Fuck you guys. That movie was leaps and bounds better than this kind of dog shit slop that they're producing for us right now, okay? Happy Gilmore 2 was, I mean, if we want to compare it, amazing. It was so fun. It was enjoyable. This was a pain. It was honestly difficult to get through this. And I'm angry that I even went to the dollar store and spent $7 on snacks to put into my hoodie to then go spend an hour and a half wasting my time. And there is something to be said about there being a curse. When you see a bad movie, the rest of your evening is doomed. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings right after the movie was over, and it was dog shit. I thought that B-Dubs was still good. It's been years since I went. B-Dubs is trash. The ranch is garbage. You have to have good ranch if you're a fucking wing place. I mean, Jesus Christ. The same thing happened to me after Eddington. Me and my girlfriend went to go see Eddington. We go to Cheesecake Factory afterwards. She gets a hamburger, takes 3 bites into it. We're driving home. Girl's puking all over the place. Food poisoning. Immediately. You want to know why? Because of Eddington. Is Cheesecake Factory also dog shit with like 800 different menu items that are all frozen and prepackaged and heated up in a fucking microwave? Yes. But she probably would have at least just, not gotten full-blown food poisoning. It would have at least been something better if Eddington wouldn't have... Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. That's BusBoys. The movie sucked. I'm giving it a 2.1 out of 10. Probably my lowest score. I really want to give it a 0 because I just want to write this completely out. You know what? Fuck this. This is my ranking system. I'm giving this a 0, okay? This movie was dog shit. Don't go see it. Wait till it's out on streaming. Watch it for 45 minutes, which is, half of its completely forced runtime, and then make your own opinion about how dog shit it is. Thank you guys for watching. You know, hey, like and subscribe. Small YouTuber here. Spare change. Spare change. Like, subscribe. Maybe comment. Let me know what you want me to see next, okay? I got Regal Unlimited. I'm in the theaters. I'm watching old shit. I'm watching new shit. No one has left me a single comment letting me know what to watch next. Can somebody out there hear me? Please. Okay. All right. Goodbye now. Bye-bye now.